Hello everyone, Mr. Happy here, and welcome to Happy Gaming News. This week, we will be looking at the news from June 7th through the 13th. So I considered just ignoring this week's Happy Gaming News or skipping it because most of the good stuff is going to happen this week during E3. But then I remembered that before every E3, pretty much all the important stuff just ends up leaking anyway, so yeah. Besides, I knew some people were going to enjoy trying to hear me say through the 13th, which sounds stupid no matter how I say it. So first up, let's start with some Square Enix news. So on the Square Enix Presents YouTube channel, they released a hilariously edited video teasing some of the content they have planned for their conference coming this Tuesday. It's really that hilariously edited. Now, while some titles such as Star Ocean 5, Kingdom Hearts 3, Bravely Second Deus Ex are kind of expected to be there, and we know Final Fantasy 15 is not going to be there and instead is going to be pushing for a big appearance over at Gamescom, there were a couple of titles that people have started to expect as well. The first big one is Front Mission, which is a series that's been going on with Square Enix for a long time. Now, I'm almost positive the creator said that they weren't making any more Front Mission games, but Siliconera says otherwise, that there is actually going to be a Front Mission announcement at E3. And according to what I've seen before, Siliconera is pretty good when it comes to Square Enix leaks, so I'm going to trust them on this one. Also, there's another thing to note. While no one's really heard anything formal about it, the music for the video is actually Frog's theme from Chrono Trigger, and Square Enix did say they were going to be rebooting or relaunching some IPs in the coming future, so I wonder. Moving on, Valve shows League of Legends how a game client is done. Dota 2 is getting a brand new client with pretty much everything their player base has been asking for. New user interface, bot matches so new players can sort of practice the mechanics of the game a little bit more, better hero browsers, a looking for group system, I guess akin to the one that's in Heroes of the Storm, customizable mini profiles, and Dota TV, an in-client streaming service meant to bring professional matches to the in-game client with options such as bookmarking upcoming matches. I shouldn't say in-game client, I should just say the Dota 2 client. Honestly, I followed both Dota 2 and League for quite some time, and yes, League has made minor upgrades to the way they do things at times, but Dota 2's relaunch is exactly what Valve players wanted. And honestly, it could be argued, I don't even think it has to be argued, Dota 2's client was already superior anyway, so now it's just going to be even better. And with a snazzy new title to boot, they are calling it Dota 2 Reborn. It's being considered a full relaunch, so honestly, it's pretty cheesy, but you know, A for effort, and it looks like it's going to be a great client. Next up, we have a huge announcement that has been known by the streaming community for quite some time now, but we finally got an official announcement. YouTube officially announced YouTube Gaming, a new streaming platform designed to compete with Twitch.tv, the sole monolith of video game streams currently in the West. YouTube is boasting that it's going to have DVR, 1080p, 60 FPS live streams with completely redesigned interface to make it more friendly than the current one. And by more friendly, I guess they mean functional. I would share my opinions on their new system here, but that could be a video in itself. I'll just let Twitch's welcoming tweet to YouTube sum up my opinions about YouTube Gaming, pretty much. Now, I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently this week, and I'm going to do my biggest piece of news after I kind of go through all those little mentions of things that I missed. So before we get to the final piece of big news, I want to do a bunch of honorable mentions in gaming news. ESO launched for the PlayStation 4 this week, though honestly I was never excited for ESO, but honestly I'm even more disheartened that there's no cross-platform play between the PlayStation 4 and PC versions of the game. I guess I'm just used to being spoiled on that department. Some new Halo 5 details were revealed, such as the involvement of the Blue Team, 15 free DLC maps, and even an underwater multiplayer map. I don't know how that's gonna go. Mirror's Edge Catalyst, the sequel to Mirror's Edge that some of us have been waiting for a very long time, is going to be shown at E3. And hell, even apparently, The Last Guardian might make an appearance at E3 this year. Oh my goodness, Last Guardian. Almost forgot about that game. Diablo 3 related content is being added to Heroes of the Storm soon, one of the things being a new map. And apparently, Bethesda may have accidentally leaked Dishonored 2 as another E3 appearance for them. They did say they did have something else big planned for their conference other than Fallout 4 since that was already teased, and Dishonored 2 would be a pretty big thing. Alright, but anyway, let's slow it down. For the final piece of news for this week, we're going to turn off the music as we talk about Christopher Lee. This legendary actor passed away on June 7th this last week due to heart failure at the age of 93, though it wasn't officially announced until June 11th. Christopher Lee has been a pretty influential actor, I think I could say, over the course of my life. Heck, even way past the course of my life. I mean, age of 93, holy moly. Whether it be his old Dracula films, which I have seen, his roles in Lord of the Rings or Star Wars, which I guess fits more within my time frame. And, how about something gaming related? Being the voice actor of Ansem the Wise in a couple of Kingdom Hearts games. Christopher Lee is pretty much just one of those actors where no matter what movie he was in, whether it was good or bad, he just made the movie a little bit more enjoyable, and that is the sign of a great actor. And I was debating whether or not he should be in Happy Gaming News, but because of the whole Ansem the Wise thing, and I'm sure he's done voices for like Lord of the Rings games and James Bond games or things like that, something with Man with the Golden Gun, I figured he deserved a moment of silence here at the end of Happy Gaming News for the week. So please join me in a moment of silence for Christopher Lee. Thanks for watching, everyone. Enjoy E3. I'll be skipping out on next week's Happy Gaming News for Heaven's Word, but expect some thoughts and news videos throughout the week for E3 again. Have a good one, everyone. Take care.